You are now listening to a 302 Birds podcast experience, proudly powered by Tick Pick, Cutbet, El Diablo Burritos, Nick's Pizza, and Klondike Kate's on the heart of Main Street.
Sometimes a picture is really worth 1,000 words, but you know what's worth more than 1,000 words? What's worth 1,000,000 words? A smile on a man's face after his team gets the job done at home. I won't open up tonight's show.
Utter dominance. That was complete. Go ahead, Dutch.
Are you confident in this? How are you feeling about the rest of the series? Set the tone for the listeners.
Let me put it to you this way. I woke up this morning just a tad bit nervous. Then I heard my song play. And I was confident. After the ass kicking that they just put on, and confident is not the proper word for this, Dutch. I'm cocky as hell. I think they can go out tomorrow, rough up Spencer Strider in about 2 innings, and do it again. That place is going to be loud. Spencer Strider demands a quiet ballpark. And you know what? We're going to make it loud. We're going to make it very, very loud tomorrow.
Are we worried they hit too many dingers tonight? Is that
no, because they did this last year.
Okay, all right. It's just like
they won 9-1 last year, then 8-3 the next day.
I'll take it.
Ain't gonna use it all, Josh.
But also,
more in the tank.
For the viewers out there, we got a new uncle in the room right now. That is good old Joshy Zepp. He had his brother had his nephew.
This is
4 days ago.
It was a week today. I actually left last week's pod early because I got the FaceTime call that my nephew was born. So
sweet.
Yep.
It was
it's
weird.
It's gonna be weird for me having to associate the name AJ with positive things because of my cousin. But seriously, congratulations to Linda
AJ
and
Brown.
Nick for AJ.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, true.
AJ Brown. Yep. AJ's up.
Well, it was weird hearing Josh on the phone tonight on the phone with his brother saying, "I'm talking to my nephew." I'm like, "Oh my god, that's strange." That's weird. I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, but you know what? Another Birds fan in the house, little AJ. He's not allowed to pick yet, but little Birds fan.
Exactly. You better be a Giants fan.
We're just getting old now. That's all.
Exactly. Well, we got a jam-packed show tonight. We got Dominic tonight. How you doing, Dom?
Good. How are you?
Fantabulous. We didn't do the intro, but thank you, El Diablo Burritos, to sponsoring this call-in. How you feeling about the Eagles and the Phillies? Do you have any questions for us?
I feel pretty good about the Phillies. I think they're going to win tomorrow, and then I just think the Eagles need to get a really big win.
And when do you think it's going to come? Do you think it's going to be in the gauntlet, or do you think it's going to be, against the Dolphins? What is a big win that will solidify the Eagles are legit this year?
They just got to win a game by like 3 scores.
1,000%. This team, I think, is a lot better than last year. Jalen Carter's a dog. I'm excited. My 2 Phillies teams are playing really good ball, baseball and football. What do you think about Sirianni and Jason Kelce on the sideline?
I don't really know what happened, so I don't know too much about it.
No worries.
Did you bring a question for us, Dominic?
Yes.
I was going to say, didn't you say you were going to bring one?
Yeah, so my question was, what could the game plan be so the Eagles can get a big win, like win by 3 scores?
Quite literally, I think we just need to dominate in the red zone. We have seen it this season that the red zone is a big struggle for us. And that was pretty much what was the argument with Sirianni and Jason Kelce on the sideline is we're relying too much on Jake Elliott, which it's not bad to rely on him, but we need to, dominate in the red zone, and we're not doing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
All of the games that we have, we're obviously undefeated right now, but all of those games we should have won by a lot more than we did because we could not put it together in that red zone. And if we want to go the distance postseason, we're going to have to figure this out. We're going to have to figure it out soon because we have that gauntlet stretch of games that's going to be brutal. And if we can't figure that out like this upcoming week, we could be screwed.
It's time to get it together. Nail on the head. I know that Ashley and I were talking about it a little bit earlier when making the graphics that like this is the pivotal moment in the season right now for the Eagles. They've gotten kind of lucky. They've blown by, gotten kind of, easier opponents, I should say. But they've won. And doing that 5 times, there's a lot to be said for that in the NFL. I don't want anyone to overshadow that. Winning 5 times over and over and over, whatever, again, in the NFL, that's not easy to do, no matter what teams you beat. But this team is just destined for so much more greatness, and we'll get into that a little bit later into the show. But the things that they're doing, the mistakes that they're making, the plays that they're calling, it just feels like it could be at a better level. And it's frustrating as a fan because you see these missed opportunities. You see a team that should be operating like a well-oiled machine, putting up 40 points every game, getting stuck at 24, 25 points, and really getting into close games that they shouldn't be in. So I think for me, the biggest key, run game, baby. Every game that they have ran the ball, they've seemed in control. Keep handing it off. Put the ball in DeAndre Swift's hands. You're not going very far away. You're in New York at the Jets, at MetLife, a stadium you're very familiar with. Give the ball to Swift. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. Fuck the Braves.
Thank you. And one last thing, too, from me, and I'll stop talking. We saw Devontae Smith not getting as many receptions last game. And I think if we have both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and even Dallas Goedert popping off each game, I think we will have a better, a big win, as you're saying, Dom, because it kind of scares me. Yes, we have the greatest tandem at the wide receiver position this year and last year with Devontae and A.J. Brown, but it's a matter of just utilizing each player in every game. Pepe, Tommy, got anything else to add to it?
I think we need to run cover 0 all day and blitz the bejesus out of Zach Wilson, because he's not about that. If we bring our entire D-line, he's not gonna be able to recognize that and do something correct with the ball. You know what I mean? We just need to blitz the shit out of that man. And just make him hate his life.
But he still might ball out, Josh, simply because Donna Kelce might be there.
It's possible. You know what, Tommy? I think we got to roll the dice on that one. Just live with the game plan. You know what? I think we just got to pair it back and dial something up. We don't get it. Yeah. I actually like Zach Wilson. I don't think he's as bad as everybody thinks.
Absolutely.
He's playing better. And I think that man did not want to play this year. You know what I mean?
So we just have to make Zach Wilson except for Jets fans.
We have to make him hate his life more than he already hates it on Sunday. Literally Jalen Carter up his taint and just barreling down on him.
Mm-hmm.
All that.
No, they need to come out rushing like dogs, these defenders, because the Jets are not a good team. When Aaron Rodgers is on the field, different story. But a quarterback is such a conductor of the offense. I say it all the time, but Jets aren't a good team. This shouldn't be a close game. Dominic, do you have any final remarks, my man, or what's your score prediction for this Sunday for us? How are you feeling about the game?
I'm going to say 27-13.
All right, cool. Well, hey, man, I want to thank you for jumping on the show with us tonight. As always, that hat is pretty cool. I need to grab myself one of them. Can I see the other side of that? Is it red on one side and then...
Yeah, it's blue here and then red here.
Oh, that's cool. I need to get myself one of them. That's a nice hat.
Fade.
Did you wear it tonight when the Phillies won, may I ask?
No, I didn't wear a hat during the game.
Okay, I was going to say maybe it's a good luck charm. You're not allowed to take that hat off your head, I was going to say, until post-World Series, if that was the call. So, good thing you said that, my man. You saved yourself. But
Pump the brakes there, Dalt. Pump the brakes.
I do want to thank you for jumping on with us, Dominic. I hope you have a good night, man.
You too.
And, as always, I also want to thank El Diablo for sponsoring that.
What do I want when I'm in the state of Delaware? Of course, El Diablo burritos. Customer service always is serving your food with a smile on their face, asking how your day is. Their food is phenomenal as well. Their burritos are out of this world, one of the best burritos in town. Their queso is phenomenal. Their burrito bowls are amazing as well. When you're in and around Delaware, stop by your local El Diablo Burritos and tell them that 302 Birds sent you. God bless, go Birds.
A very, very special edition tonight of
Time for Phillies talk with Bob Tommy. Junior Stitch.
what the
And I
people
just want to
pay
give
for.
an extra delicious thank you to Nick's Pizza tonight, as we're all in a very delicious and fun mood after a great win today.
Oh my god!
And I also want
I
to
hate you.
welcome a longtime guest, a longtime friend of the show, Mr. Eric Shard, for joining us. A fan favorite. I know we got all the Phillies players in the house tonight, so I'm just going to let them do their thing. But that blood tomorrow, I mean, there's some beef going on.
Oh, there's a lot of beef going on between. I know a lot of Braves fans are like, "Oh, he can barely speak English," Orlando Arcia, but you know what? Every player knows a few words, at least at this point, after being in the MLB. I wouldn't be surprised if he was laughing at Bryce Harper and then probably said it. Is it all rumor speculation? So what? It's bulletin board material. He probably did say it, and they're probably just mad that they gave us some bulletin board material. Oh, Spencer Strider, notorious for being a no fun guy. Doesn't want fans really in the stadium, or at least the lower bowl, he said in an interview earlier this year. Guess what? He wants that place to be eerily quiet. So you know what we're going to do for him? We're going to make it loud. We're going to make it very, very loud tomorrow night. It was loud tonight. It's going to be deafening tomorrow night. And that stadium will be rocking with every pitch he throws. Every ball, every strike, every home run he gives up, that place will be rocking tomorrow night with all the bad blood we have with the Braves. They might have owned us in the regular season, but it's our turn in the postseason.
Yes, Tom. Ready to run through a brick wall.
I am ready to run through a brick wall again tomorrow.
I'm a Phillies fan now. I mean, I say it all the time. I don't watch baseball until early August. If the Phillies are good, I've been watching the last 2.5 months. I've been watching the playoff run we're on right now. I'm back. I get it, Tom. I take back all the judgment. I get it. I feel the energy. That being said, as soon as we lose, I'm not watching the rest of the playoff. Like if we don't make it to the World Series, I'm not going to watch. But we got it. All right.
Like I said, pipe down the brakes because we got to worry about tomorrow night's game.
Just saying. I'm saying if we lose.
Dalton, I love Dalton. I love you, Dalton. But Dalton's notorious for saying these hot takes, and then it just kind of takes the sails out of our ship. But anyway, relax.
You realize
one game at a time.
Dumbass.
One game at a time. Eric, sorry. Go ahead.
Do you guys realize we have a lot of curses going against us tomorrow? Powder blue postseason curse. 10+ runs tonight. We usually don't play well against 10+ runs.
I'm gonna need you to shut up, Eric. I need your glass half full, not half empty right now. Okay. I understand where you're coming from, but
you can have
continue.
all. Go ahead.
I mean, it's just and between doing the tomahawk chop tonight and then calling out Strider, am I worried a little bit?
They did the tomahawk chop last year too.
Hey, I'm being a hard ass. I'm just being a hard ass. But do I think that we win tomorrow? Yes. I think it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be loud as fuck. I don't have tickets right now. My local radio station is giving out tickets, so I'm hoping I get tickets tomorrow because I will literally.
That's a weak hope.
Hey man, I mean, if it happens, it happens. Don't just
man can dream.
I'm praying for you, man. I'm right there with you. I mean, any outlet to get tickets this year, everything's expensive.
Yeah, I don't have $400 to drop on tickets. It's ridiculous. And Tommy, however you got tickets for $40, you're lucky.
Him and
it was because I put down a $500 deposit for season tickets.
All right, well then that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, as long as we can have a repeat of game 1, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
How about a repeat of game 3, mofo?
Eric, what was your,
I couldn't hit a dinger tonight.
I guess
let the man talk. Jesus,
I would love a repeat of game 3.
My question in terms of Phillies, or my question in terms of Eagles?
Whatever. It's your fourth right now.
I guess my question would be,
preferably Phillies while we're on the topic.
Okay, I guess my question for Phillies would be, after Matt Strider, do you really think their bullpen is going to be an issue for us tomorrow?
It depends. If Strider can go 6 or 7 innings, it'll be an issue because like guys like AJ Minter and Iglesias is they're great bullpen guys. The rest of their bullpen though isn't that great. So if you get Strider in trouble and he's got to come out in like the 3rd or 4th inning, it's going to be another night like tonight. Like Brad Hand blows up in the playoffs. We saw him again with us last year. How many times did he lose us the lead against the Padres in the NLCS? And then we had to claw our way back and have comeback victories all throughout the playoffs because Brad Hand couldn't hold it together. He's not that good. All the guys that went tonight, got rocked by the CBP crowd and then got rocked by our guys. So I don't see the rest of their bullpen being an issue. If you get to them early, and that's a big if, you'll see similar results to tonight. If he goes like how he did in game 1, you're only going to score probably 3 runs, and that could spell disaster. You're not shutting out this offense again. It's too potent. They hadn't been shut out since August of 21 going into game 1. And so we're going to need to put up like 6 runs again because they're going to put up 4, 5, 6 runs themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I saw they have a lot of righties in their bullpen for tomorrow. And a lot of our hitters, from my understanding, are lefties, which is great for us. So, I mean,
absolutely,
we'll see. I had another question. I can't think of what it was.
Opposites attract.
Can we say you guys say I could be crazy, but I am not a Matt Strahm fan. Like he pitched just in half an inning, but like putting him in the on the mound kind of scares me because like his pitches weren't connecting at all. He wasn't pitching a good pitch at all. And that could, affect us in the long run if we put him back in down the road.
He's got mad flow though.
Yeah, so he's like hit or miss.
Because I mean, I've watched a few games this year when he was on the mound, and it's like, why do we have this man pitching when we have a lead or like a one point lead? Like, I just don't understand the whole reasoning for putting him on the mound. Just maybe for an extra arm or what?
Like he has come up clutch in a few big high leverage situations this year. He has a good mentality of coming in middle innings. Whereas some guys, for them, if they come in the middle innings, it messes them up. Like Alvarado can come in whenever, but if Kimbrel, you bring him in too early, I don't know what it is. It messes up his psyche for some reason before he comes in. And so it's, I think, more of a mental game than anything. And he's not terrible overall, but like a night like tonight where it was like, okay, it's still kind of close. I'd rather you not start to give up runs and start looking like you're leaking oil. Oh, he does that way too often. So I wouldn't bring him into a 1-run game. But I would bring him into a game like tonight where it's like, okay, you got 3 or 4 run cushion and I'd rather use him before I use a high leverage guy, just in case, because I know I have a game tomorrow, and if this game starts to get out of hand, I can continue to use him or go to somebody else who's more of an arm that I can use to like waste when you're up big or you're down by a lot. So I actually liked it a lot, the move tonight, just because it looked like it could go either way, and you already had that cushion to deal with.
And my mindset, why I bring this up, is Aaron Nola pitched lights out tonight, right? But early on in the season, we had a 3-run, 4-run lead, and Aaron Nola was a mound, and in one inning he let up 5 runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm questionable about this Matt Strom. That's all I got to say.
Tommy's having flashbacks.
Yeah, I am.
Hey, Tommy,
fourth inning.
Question?
I will never buy a RAV4 after this year. Go ahead.
Are you guys so here? I have a question, and this kind of goes with the game tomorrow. Are you guys for Dodgers tonight or against Dodgers tonight? Because depending on if they win or lose, it changes our playing time tomorrow.
Yeah.
We want to play later. We want to play later.
I want to play later. Later.
I need Philly blowing up. I need that shit on. I need the city on fire tomorrow by the first pitch.
Yeah. I want it later for selfish reasons. I have work and don't want to have to rush out of work.
So
the game starts 4 o'clock my time. That's impossible.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's terrible.
For you, it is impossible.
Who do we want to win tonight to make it later?
Dodgers.
No, Arizona.
Yeah. We want Arizona to win. Okay.
Okay. Tommy.
Yes.
What's the sun? Where's that come from? Where's that come from?
It's from the 08 World Series run. There was a guy on a guy was just interviewing people on the street after they won to go to the World Series in 08. And this guy was going nuts. They're like, "Why are you so excited?" He's like, "Because we're talking about the fight-ins. The fight-ins." Said.
I love that.
I found who he is on Instagram, and I have his Instagram handle. I've been waiting to DM him to ask him to come on the podcast. His name is Jack.
And he's from 08. How old is he?
He's probably 55. I would say.
Yeah, something like that.
Get him on the pod.
Set. I hope he's 50 or 55 because when he comes on the show, if he's fucking 35 or something and he's got nice gray hair, he's just going to think I'm a dick or something. But we'll have to see. Big fans of him regardless.
I mean, aren't we all dicks anyway? So, or just me?
I mean, no, we're all dicks. I will say. I'll agree.
All
right, Josh, stop having threats over there, bud.
I love it. It's just so addicting to do.
All right, Jack. Is that enough baseball? We gave it enough time. I mean, it is.
I don't know.
Go Phillies. Go Dale.
Cole Side was kind of pissed that it's too much Eagles, not the Phils in the chat.
I'm with Cole. We might have to change our name from 302 Birds to 302 Phils.
You know who actually told me? I'll tell you guys after the show. Actually, just remind me. There's a funny story. Anyways,
Bryce Harper is daddy. Go Phils.
He is daddy. Don't you ever mess with Daddy Harper.
Lock up your wives. We're hitting fucking dingers. We're hitting dingers and Delco.
He took that slander too hard and went ding dong dinger to the second ding dong dinger deck.
It's too easy with Tom. It really is. I love it.
That's your new T-shirt. Ding dong dinger, Dutch. That's what Peter just did.
He hit a ding dong dinger to ding dong dinger.
You know what that is, Tom? A ding dong dinger. That's when you hit a dinger and it bounces off the fucking bell so hard. That's what
we're gonna use that quote for a shirt. We're gonna make a shirt with that quote for the shop.
Ding dong dinger.
Ding dong dinger.
Quote it, Tom. It's Lucci.
Shark, want to thank you for jumping on with us tonight, as always.
Ding dong. Have a good one. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
All right, so Greg should be joining. As you guys know, whenever Greg joins the show, it's always a wild card. So I'm going to text him and give these guys a chance to stall after I make my take. Just telling you how it is. But anyways, Joel Embiid, he put his house up for sale. This could be him just wanting to move. Maybe he wants to find a new place. Or this could be the start to the Sixers saga. Tonight, the Sixers are starting basketball again. Of course, overshadowed by the Phillies in the midst of their playoff run. But they're getting started with their season, and things are not so sunny in Philadelphia for the Philadelphia 76ers. I like how I did that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no, in all seriousness, they're a dumpster fire right now. Their top tier player is frustrated. You're seeing it by this. I think that this is the start to something. I think it's not him saying I'm ready to do it now. I think we're good now. But I think it's more like a liquidity thing, if you see what I'm saying. It's like, oh, cool, I'm just going to be renting so that if any moment I get traded, I don't have to worry about this. Or if I want to leave at the end of next year, I don't have to wait to sell a home. So Embiid is a question mark now for me and the Sixers. I don't know what I want to do with him, honestly.
Hey, honestly,
it's frustrating as hell as a fan, too, because, like, you get there, we haven't really closed the deal. And, I mean, you've spent so much on him. I mean, at this point, you're probably going to get your biggest return on investment. I mean, you're not going to win with this team, are you? Is anybody confident that they'll win with the Bucks coming out? I'm not.
No.
So hear me out. This is a hot take. This won't happen. But I say we trade off Embiid, even though he's a natural talent, and just build around Maxey, because Embiid, yes, he's a great player, one of the greatest players of all time, but I think we want to, start building the team, younger guys. I think Maxey's more of a long-term investment than Joel Embiid. And we can get a lot for Joel Embiid. I mean, we can make a blockbuster trade for him and just start new. Because at the time, I mean, right now, guys, the past, 8 years, we've been so disappointed and losing in the second round, and we thought we'd bring in Embiid, think he would change that. Hasn't done much. So, yes, maybe it's a hot take, but that's how that's my thought process right now.
What do you think about the home thing? Do you think that it's a liquidity thing? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like at any moment, I'm just ready to roll. Like, it's not. I don't think it's. I mean, the Twitter bio, the home. I mean, all these things just don't happen in one season out of nowhere when they didn't happen before.
Well, and we've seen like. We've seen you can't invest. People have tried to invest in one player and it hasn't worked out in the NBA. You need to build about multiple players, not just two, at least 3 or 4. Like, it can't be Maxey and Embiid because it's never going to work out. We tried it with James Harden. No, I just didn't work out. So I just think we just trade off Embiid, build around Maxey, and go from there. Because I don't give a rat's ass right now about the Sixers because it's just disappointment all the time.
Also, because the fightings are going. Right, Tommy? Give me a set. Set! Yes. No. Listen, here, we're not trading Embiid because he's our entire team, him and Maxey. Maxey's not good enough. Maxey's not good enough to build around just yet. He's still young. But on the house thing, Embiid is just taking advantage of the market. Everybody knows the Fed is still raising rates. We're in the 8% right now. It is a seller's market. Normally, nobody would buy a house that expensive, but everybody's going to be like, oh, this is Embiid's house. I'm going to live in Embiid's house. Embiid knows this. He's striking while the iron's hot. He can rent. He don't give a fuck. He's got the money. This is strictly a market decision. Has nothing to do with basketball. He's making his money. He's watched The Big Short 1,000,000 times. He knows what's going on. He's going to be fine. He's going to be on the Sixers.
I just disagree because I feel like we start building. I thought we start building around a younger guy than Embiid.
I think we at least have this season with him. I don't think he's going to bail right this minute. Is this in the next, like, if I would be shocked and amazed if we somehow did it this season, but like, I think he's dropping some hints that he's ready to go.
He's right on that 30 age. So if they don't do it, I'll tell you, it's like this. In my theory, you guys are going to laugh at this. If you're late to an appointment and you're 15 minutes away, tell the appointment you're 12 minutes away. The reason why 12 minutes away sounds a lot damn better than 15 minutes. So I don't know. I kind of like see it with that theory.
That made no sense whatsoever in this context.
Going with that. I actually had
that did not connect at all.
Yeah, now I got it. Sorry. Thanks for bringing it home, Josh. Embiid's 29 years old. A 29-year-old player in a trade sounds a lot better than a 30-year-old player. I'm not wrong about that.
Okay, now you connected it back. There we go.
Sorry. He tried to get back on the wheel. The cheese fell off, and then he slapped that bitch back on there, and then started running again. But the point is, 29 years old versus 30. If they don't do it now, they're not going to get that blockbuster trade like Jack highlighted earlier. And that blockbuster trade is really what they need. Like at that point, let him fucking retire here. If you're not going to get that blockbuster trade, he's going to sell jerseys. Like, just admit we're not going to win shit, and we're just going to come buy $5 to $10 tickets, hopefully, at fucking Chinatown to watch a team that's going to just get knocked out second round every year. Best case scenario. Just let us know that at least.
The only way we can beat the Bucks is if they get injured, and the only way we can beat the Celtics is if Jaylen Brown and Jaylen Brown can't dribble with his left hand after that video. I mean, that was pretty bad. So I think we can stop Jaylen Brown. We need something to happen to Jason Tatum. I'm not saying I want him to get injured. That's just like we need a team to get injured to make it a long run to the playoffs. That's what needs to happen.
Gregor.
Can't compete with them.
Yo, what's up, guys?
So, hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm good.
Fantastic. I love seeing you on the show. I don't know if you heard what I said, but I'm saying we should trade Embiid right now, get a blockbuster trade, and build around Maxey. That's have to say. What's your opinion on that?
There's two routes here. Do a complete rebuild. You could max out on draft picks. You could trade Harden. You could trade Embiid. You could get draft picks and just sell tickets with the team you currently have. I think you could definitely do that. You could also be a contender right now. Like I heard you guys talk about the Bucks. I heard you guys talk about the Celtics. Here's my opinion on that shit. I'll make it quick. They're not as scary as everyone thinks they are. The Bucks, all they did was get rid of Grayson Allen, and they traded out Drew Holiday for a different point guard who is really good at offense. He's better at offense, but he's worse at defense. So you had a trade-off. You literally have another Drew Holiday that's just not as good as defense. That's all that happened. And everyone thinks the East is lost. The East is actually worse than the West this year. The Heat lost Gabe Vincent. They lost Max Strus. The Heat are not going to be as good they were. They were trying to trade for an all-star player without giving up anything. They didn't do that. The Celtics, did you guys look at their roster? Did anyone actually look at their roster? They have no one besides the starting five.
Their roster's ass. Their roster's ass.
They have no one. They got rid of Brogdon. They got rid of Time Lord. They got rid of literally everyone.
But Greg, to that point, Bucks, Sixers, and Celtics, they both got semi-better. The Sixers did not get any better at all.
No, we did. Patrick Beverley.
How?
Oubre. Kelly Oubre's a better.
Patrick Beverley, okay, he's hot and cold. He's old. Like he's a
good. Yeah, it's whatever. He's old, but you look at Oubre. We lost what's his name? McDaniels, right? Lost him to Toronto. Oubre's a better forward on the bench. We have Jaden Springer. Did you not see the preseason game the other day? We didn't play Embiid. We didn't play Harden. Celtics played their entire team. We stayed within 2 points the entire game until the last quarter when we played our benches. That's what happened.
Nick Nurse, too.
And Nick Nurse.
Also,
we're not a bad team. We might as well just win the in-season tournament. Postseason, I don't know. I think we're good.
I'm fucking sold. I'm ready to buy a t-shirt now. I'm ready for the season, thanks to Greg.
The West loaded up. The East, if you look statistically at how each team did, the Celtics cap spaces are the way they are for a reason, because you cannot have an overly overpowered team without suffering, without sacrificing. That's what the Celtics did. Their bench is nothing. They have 50-year-old Al Horford on the bench. And they have no one. They have Cornette, the lunky white tall dude. You know what I mean? They have no one on their Pritchard, yeah, you can argue that. They are like maxed out on contracts for the next 50 years.
Pritchard's not good. He's so overhyped.
And Floyd, we're talking about Embiid right now. Just so you asked all that question pop up. We're talking about Embiid.
I think Greg just single-handedly destroyed and ruined the entire Boston Celtics franchise with that little roast session right there. Bravo, Greg. That was pretty good. Well thought out. And you actually made a lot of good points that I didn't think about. Now I'm genuinely excited for the Sixers. Like, I'm not even busting balls when I say that. Like, I'm actually legit excited that, like, maybe Greg's right. Maybe, like, at the fucking end of the road, throughout all the bullshit, all the suffering, it'll finally pay off.
Boys and female, we say this every year, and every fucking year, round 2, we can't get fucking by. Okay, we can win the in-season tournament, but at the same time, the postseason, we can make it there, but we can't get past the second round.
I'd rather continually make the playoffs.
How do we get past the second round? Like, what is it we do? What is the magic recipe to get past the second round? Because no matter what,
we cut Jason Tatum's tires.
Can I just ask a question here?
Yes, Tom.
Why are we talking so much about a team that gives 0 shits about their fans? Seriously, why do we care? Here, they don't care about us. Look at the magic the Phillies are giving us. They're a team that cares. John Middleton is sitting with the fans. Is sitting with the fans. He's giving out baseballs to the fans. Jeffrey Lurie is committed to putting out a quality product on the field for us year in, year out, and providing a great fan experience. What does Josh Harris want? Money.
I'm talking about the
ownership in the Commanders.
Josh
he
Harris
bought ownership.
Talking about money.
What?
Josh said, I'm talking about the Titans. I said, Josh Harris he's talking about the money. He's talking about the Redskins and the Sixers.
The Commanders and the Devils. Those all rivals of Philadelphia sports teams. He doesn't give a shit. So why are we carrying this long? We have gone on too long about talking about the Sixers tonight.
So you're just done with this. That's funny. So we have two opposite ends of Sixers fans. Me, who's just like, okay, maybe I'm convinced. Then you have Jack, who's like Mr. Negative. You have Greg, who thinks we're fucking winning the finals this year. And then you have Tommy, who won't even fucking pay $5 for a ticket. He'll spit on the fucking floor because Josh Harris is the owner. Jesus Christ.
Josh. There you go.
Listen. On Jack's point, I agree with Greg that I do think the East is very weak this year. I don't think we're going to make it out of the second round of the playoffs. But hear me out, Jack. I would rather continuously make the playoffs and lose than completely rebuild and go through this shit for another 5 years. Because
season and like
Sixers, I don't really give a fuck. That's actually a good point.
What'd you say, Greg?
We had a losing season in like 4 years.
Yes, like people are like, "Oh, the process didn't work. You guys didn't win a ring." I could not have given a rat's ass about the Nerlens Noel.
I love Tony Roten. Don't you dare say anything bad about my boy Tony Roten.
I did not care about those Sixers at all. Like I would watch the first 10 games and we'd be like 2-8, and I'd be like, season's over. I have cared about the Sixers since 2016 now because of this. I'm okay constantly. I just need hope. I just need a string of hope to be like, you know what? Give me a game 6 in the second round where I know we're going to lose. But for that smidge in the second quarter when we're up, that's all I need. Okay. That's all I need to keep me back the next season.
Said. Okay. We are getting really heated about these Sixers, just like Jason Kelce got heated on the sideline with Nick Sirianni.
That's
like
true.
That. Jason Kelce never does that. And he said, I got a little heated. We get it. You're a nice guy. Everyone loves you, Jason Kelce. But yeah, like to Jason Kelce's point, like I said, top of the show, we have struggled. Yes, we're 5-0. Thank God. 5-0. But we have struggled. We have struggled in the red zone from week 1. And this will matter. I mean, the first 5 weeks, we've played, decent opponents. But when we go down this gauntlet that we've all been talking about, every Eagles fan has been talking about, this is where it matters. We cannot get out of the red zone we are kicking a field goal. And luckily we had that drive last week where A.J. Brown got the DPI pass interference, and then we did the
Philly push or whatever, brotherly push, and we scored. Brotherly shove. My bad. But to Kelce's point, we have sucked in the red zone for the first 5 weeks in the season. And it doesn't right now. It doesn't matter as much because, like I said, we're not playing that hard of opponents. But like when we hit down the gauntlet, this is gonna be an issue if we haven't solved anything. That's all I got to say.
Talking about brotherly shoving and brotherly stucking over there, man, scaring the hell out of me. Kidding. Yeah. This is not good though. This. Like, you brought up a good point. Okay, Jack, it's fine. You're frustrated. You're, like, not playing to your ability. But I'm going to be that guy for a second. Never played football, but I'm going to be that guy. Ready? How does this help the team? It doesn't.
You're being a pussy. It does.
I get it. It's passionate. But, like, you can't. You're 5-0. You can't do that no matter what. It doesn't help the team. It just throws off the trajectory. I like that he owned up to it after. A lot of athletes, like, would try to dance around it. At least he had the nuts to be like, yeah, I fucked up. Like, shouldn't have done it. But, like, at the end of the day, I mean, it was against the fucking Rams. It's irrelevant. It's week, 5. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the course of the season. I saw some tweets, some people being like, is this Kelce's last year? Or is he going to play, like, for a different team? I'm like, no. Like, it was honestly shocking that I saw some tweets saying that. But it's concerning is what I'll say, but it's not pivotal.
Yeah, I think you have to look to. Oh, sorry, John.
No, please go, Ash, because I think I'm going to disagree with you.
No, to be honest with you, I was more surprised, but I wasn't necessarily upset. I think there's something to be said when you have somebody that is incredibly level-headed, right, from a fan's perspective. He's very passionate, but you never see anything like that. And repeatedly throughout the season, we've been having this issue, and we've on the show talked about whether it's a play calling issue, whether it's a personnel issue, like, what's going on. But to see somebody finally get to that point where they didn't wait till the end of the game, right? They didn't wait till they did it in behind closed doors. He went out and said, this is not okay. We need to do something about it. I wasn't necessarily upset about that because he needed the red zone. I believe we have another topic on that later, potentially. I don't remember. But the red zone has been a disaster, a full-on disaster. And for him to finally just say, you know what, no, like, this is not okay. We need to figure this out. It needed to happen. And obviously, I wish it potentially could have happened behind closed doors. But this also shows that he's passionate about it, that he wants us to win.
Absolutely. I loved it. I love that Jason Kelce is a man with great presence, and on the sideline, when he talks, people listen, and he's just pissed off. And he's been pissed off before, and I don't think it always gets the media coverage that it deserves. And now they finally, like, pan the camera over to him. Like, this is nothing new. Like, he gets mad. I think he just got caught this time. He's just being a leader on the sideline, being like, yo, this is effed up. Our red zone has sucked. We're 5-0. We're playing well. We need to stack up the wins. We're doing that. But we do need to convert in the red zone more. And he's just making it known. And I love it. I love it that he didn't wait till the end of the game. He's trying to get people hyped. He's trying to get his teammates involved. So I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
Yeah, I just think, like, this, obviously we haven't seen it before, but like having Jason Kelce reaction to this tells you something is so messed up, because he's very emotional. He's very passionate about the team. But the fact that him as a leader got to the breaking point where he was yelling in the coach's ear, I just tells you that he wants the best. He knows what they can do, and he wants the best for the team, and he wants to win. Like Josh said, 5-0, great season so far. But the red zone, it needs to be fixed because it's going to matter down the road. That's really all I gotta say. If we didn't have Elliott, we'd be screwed.
we need to be perfect. You got it. If you're not being perfect, there's always room to grow. Kelce just wants to be perfect. I think we do need to ask the question. One more thing, Dalton. Sorry. Does Sirianni have Jake Elliott on his fantasy team? I don't think that's a crazy question to ask.
I mean,
I think that's an excellent question.
Would not surprise me.
Just think about it. I'm just saying.
I heard make the point though. A nice transition is to argue with the brotherly shove that I mean the Rams game at least. I think what was it, Ash? You were saying we had to correct it. Was it in clutch?
Yeah, so it was in clutch scenarios. They got it 100%, and then they missed 2 in the fourth quarter when it didn't matter. But all of the third and fourth down conversions that it needed to happen, it happened in this game. And then overall in the season, we have a 93% success rate compared to the league average, I believe, is 81%.
Wow. I mean, there's just something to be said for that. That's the whole point. Like, are you really going to ban the QB sneak? Like, that's the whole discussion. Like, it's the QB sneak. It's not the brotherly shove. It's just we're selling T-shirts. Let's be honest. It's Philadelphia. We're just putting a phrase on a shirt. We're going to sell it. We're going to do it again next year, the following year, and the year after that. We do it every year. It's a fucking QB sneak. Come on. Like, you're trying to ban it? Are you really going to ban that, like, as a whole throughout the NFL? You can't do that. It's just ridiculous that the Eagles do it well. And I guarantee you, if it was any other team, they would not be talking about banning it. And that is the most bullshit part about it, honestly.
Yeah,
Unbiased, too. Unbiased.
And in all honesty, like, okay, if there was a lot of injuries, people were getting injured due to this, I can understand why. But there has been a very small amount of injuries due to this. It's just a matter that we are exceedingly well at doing this, that people obviously, we're Philly. Everyone wants to find something wrong with any Philly team and just kind of make sure they can't use it. But, like, if you're really that passionate about making it illegal to use, then stop it. Like, it's not that hard to stop it. We've seen it used with other teams this year, and it's been stopped. It's just a matter of Jalen Hurts being a fucking dog with his big-ass thighs and squatting 600 pounds. No one can stop it. Like, come on now. Like, it's football. I guarantee you all of these legend football players who are watching this are like, well, it's just a football move. Like, stop it if it's bigger than an issue. It's just it pisses me off because, like Dalton has said, it's Philly. Obviously, they want to ban it because Philly's using it so well. I don't know.
The only injuries were by the Giants, who were on offense because they executed it incorrectly. Like, it's child's play. And again, I don't think we need the push. Like, I think Jalen Hurts gets it on his own with this offensive line. But, like, again, I don't understand. People are doing it to a worse success rate than us. So it's not like it's an unstoppable play. It's just unstoppable for us. The Hail Mary to Tyreek Hill is an unstoppable play for the Dolphins. We can't ban that, right? We can't just ban fast people. It's loser talk. It's kids who grew up with goddamn participation trophies. I can't do it as good as you. It's what this country's going to. Don't get me started. Give me a set, Tom.
Set.
Thank you.
Set.
Yeah, just soft. We're all soft. The world's going soft.
And Jason Kelce put it pretty well. He's like, you know what? I can picture, later this season, people are gonna act like they're getting injuries so they can stop it and, like, ban it because there's injuries, faking injuries due to it, which is bullshit. Tom, you've been quiet over here. Like, what's up there, bud?
I just agree with everything you've said. So
oh, wow. You agree with me? Wow, you never said that before. That's crazy. Thanks, bud.
I have said that before. That hurts my feelings, Jack.
Oh, by the way, the Diamondbacks just hit back-to-back home runs. It's 3-0.
I know. I've also been getting texts about that. Solo.
Yeah, four, yeah. Another one. Jesus Christ. Moving on up. We really didn't talk. Week 5 takeaways. I mean, Cooper Kupp's unstoppable. I mean, try to put Darius Slay on him, couldn't stop him. He is a force to be reckoned with, and it scares me that he's back. Granted, our defense played really well. Hassan Riddick coming in clutch, minute left in the fourth quarter, getting that sack. Jalen Carter's still playing out of his mind. 5 games in. I mean, this team. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just love it. And then Dallas Goedert's actually getting touches now. Like, who would have thought? Hey, that works. But yeah, no, this team is just getting better and better and better as the weeks go on.
Better and better. Yeah. I think big thing, Hassan Reddick's back. He's got that cast off his thumb. He can finally rush the passer. Goddard's back, like Jack said. And I'm not going to make excuses for our defense, but the Rams' offense is very explosive. It is still a good offense. Puka Tachuka is fantastic, little Pokemon guy. He's good. Cooper Kupp is amazing. Like, that offense is still high-powered. And, yeah, they got to us a little bit, but that offense is going to score points. I thought we did a good job mitigating. Like, we shut them out in the second half, right? So we got that. And this game just shows you, like, we can win the game on offense anyway. We can run. We can pass. If you remember last year, Devontae Smith didn't have any catches week 1 against the Lions. Week 2, he had a big game against the Vikings. Week 3, he blasted off against the Commanders. He had like 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about Devontae Smith not getting his touches this game, because next game it's going to be Devontae Smith. Then the game after it's going to be Goddard. Then it's going to be A.J. Brown. Then Swift is going to run for 200 yards. It's fine. Like, it's going to be a give and go. Everybody's going to get theirs at some point in the game or some point in the season, but we can win either way on offense. And our defense is heating up. Our secondary, Reed Blankenship is a beast. Like, we are getting better. Morrow, our linebacker, who we signed like 3 weeks in the practice squad, didn't even make the final roster at cuts, is playing balls out. Like, we are getting there.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
and-
we have a good we have too many good players.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. And
And
it's
we're
important
figuring
to
out
figure
when
out-
and where to use them. Sorry.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. I think also when you have some new players and then you also have, most importantly, new coordinators trying to figure out all of that, it's still, even 5 weeks in, there's still a little bit of learning that's still happening. I would probably, that's to say a lot of learning still happening. So I think this week was the most, it was good to see Goddard getting in the rhythm of things again. And who knows? I think every week we're going to kind of go through a cycle of who, for that particular opponent, is going to be the best fit for getting stuff done.
And like I said earlier, I mean, we put together the perfect drive, 30 seconds left with 30-second drive, ending in a brotherly shove. Like, that was Eagles football, and it was great seeing how well they put that together. A.J. Brown with the one-handed catch.
The penalties helped.
Yeah, the DPI definitely helped. And then capping off to win over at halftime with the brotherly shove just kind of sealed it. So, I mean, Jalen Hurts, again, playing phenomenal. I mean, he hasn't played that bad. Maybe week 1 he didn't play that great, but he's getting better and better. I'm not worried about that. And we see, the next man up. If one of our players is not having the game, we have another player that can fill in. So it's nice to have that capability to do that. And that's how you make the perfect team. So that's all I got to say.
It's fast.
Sit.
The Phillies have their said. The Eagles have their dog. All the Philly teams are going to have them. We'll figure out one for them. Yeah, and Fitzy has his bird call. I would love a little bird call for our guest's team tonight, Dominic. He is dominating his fantasy football experience thanks to getting advice with the Fantasy Football Advice Network. Download the app today if you guys haven't. They're a great source for your fantasy football advice. It's a forum. You can ask questions, start, bench, cut, stuff like that. Sit them, start them, all kinds of good stuff. You can do it all on one platform. But tonight, Dominic sending us his team, wanted me to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So without further ado, I will smack that intro and shut my mouth. Like I said, thanks to the Fantasy Football Network, download the app. But he's got Tua. Tua turned the ball over at his starting QB. Pacheco at running back. Ford, who's been pretty good for Cleveland fans so far. in the second running back spot. Calvin Ridley, love that guy. Got him on my fantasy team. He's been electric this year. Josh Palmer, Hawkinson, Wilson Jr. from the Dolphins, the Chiefs defense, and Sanders from the Dolphins as his kicker. Overall, I think you have pretty decent depth. We didn't get to see his bench, so I have no clue about the rest of that team. So I'm just going to base this on what I see. I won't rate your bench, but I'll rate your starting team. I would give this like an 8.5. I still think that there's a lot of room for improvement. Players like Tua, Ridley, they're your two best players right now this year. And what scares me with those guys is they're new. And what I mean by that is they didn't ball out last year. Well, not the same that they are this year. So I'm worried that the rug could be pulled from under them at any moment. And with that being said, that's why I give this team an 8.5. You do have decent depth though, with Hawkinson, I think, Ford, Pacheco. So for your starters, I'm going to give this an 8.5. What are you guys thinking?
I think you're 1-4 in our league.
Yeah.
Just saying. So maybe I don't know.
And definitely don't ask me for advice. Josh, I am so upset about this weekend. That was not fair.
I keep winning by like 2 or 3 points every week.
And I keep losing by 2 or 3 points. And I at one point had an 89% chance of winning this week.
I don't look at probability. That thing is fake. The AI is coming to kill us all. The probability in like the other apps is just a lie. It's a lie.
I mean, all I gotta say is beginning of the season I was 12th and now I'm ranked 5. But with this team that we're looking at right now, I'm gonna go with, I think Dalton's take on Calvin Ridley being one of your best players is wrong. I think Pacheco's probably Tua and Pacheco, best 2 players on that team. But I'll give it I'll give it an 8.5. I mean, Tua has popped off in fantasy this year. Pacheco is playing really well, and Hawkinson's playing phenomenal too. So good job there, Dominic. Appreciate you sending that to us.
I think this is a really bad team. I'd say 6.3. I mean, Tua is pretty good. Pacheco will get you points every week. He's not gonna blast off. Calvin Ridley's hit or miss, and then everybody else kind of mid. Like I would like if this is a 12-man league, this team's fine. But like, do we know how many teams are in this league?
Nope.
No.
Just make some trades, Dominic. Just make some trades.
I don't know, Dom. You might be wanting to hit that waiver wire. I picked up Puka at the end of week 2, and I've been pretty happy. Like you just got to find those guys nobody's looking for. Send the trade, and don't be the guy who sends like 2 mid players for 1 good player. Nobody bites on those.
And boys and girl, you got to watch out for this weekend. It's the 2 boys playing against each other, me and Josh. Right now, projected to win by 3 points, and I think I will take that gladly.
Yeah, ask Ash how that worked out, being projected to win. Yeah, I'm coming for that ass, Jack.
I'm telling you guys, if you haven't joined our Discord yet, you guys can see Jack and Josh hopefully get their old asses on there and figure out how to talk shit to each other so you guys can watch it and see it live. But that's definitely going to be one for the books. A little
rivalry. It's going to be heated. It's going to be heated here.
I still don't know the difference between Discord and TikTok. Like, to me, it's the same thing.
God.
You're
anyway,
dumb.
Grand Slappy. We'll get him on there. But, Josh, how you feeling about Nakobe Dean coming back? I mean, it's definitely much needed. The Eagles activate his 21-day practice window.
I will say I have 2 separate opinions on the matter. I'm happy Dean is back because I like Dean a lot. I think he's going to be a great player for us. I will also say at the moment, I think Cunningham and Mora might be playing better than Dean was before he got hurt. A little unfair, They have more time in the defense, or getting more game time, Dean didn't play that much in the preseason, yada yada. They're getting more like real life game time. So that does go against Dean. But either way, I think it's a win-win. Either Dean comes back and he gets good experience and he plays well, or Dean comes back, they kind of take their time winning back. And our linebackers now that we have are playing good. So I think either way it works out well.
Yeah. I mean, like I couldn't agree more, Zep. I'm glad he's back and hopefully he plays this week. But yeah, I mean, Moreau is playing out of his mind, the same with Cunningham. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Nakobe Dean for sure. It's just a matter of if he has that dog in him, which I think he does, to get back and get some reps and get out there and, take some Jets down.
Yeah.
Thomas?
Thank you.
Tommy has been super. All I got to say is Tommy has been super distracted tonight. I've noticed that he's too busy watching the baseball or hearing.
He's watching B-Harp highlights over there.
I think Tommy was so nervous for this game that he took a Xanax, and it's just kicking in right now.
Yeah.
Ash, what were you saying?
I'm president and founder of the Nakobe Dean fan club, so it kills me.
I love Nakobe Dean.
Right. The old Delco saying, Tom, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Josh made a really good point about Morrow, like balling out. That's the one thing that does kind of make me a little bit nervous because Nakobe Dean's supposed to be the green dot helmet. We were talking about it, the play caller. Like, they expect big things out of this kid. But maybe it's just the defense. So I think put him in there. We'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there is what I'll say. But Josh brings a really good point. Like, linebackers right now are playing really well. So I really hope that he doesn't come in and just start sucking because we're going to have a little bit of a controversy then.
Oh, absolutely.
And last but not least, and guys, we don't have any trivia for you all this week. But I do want to thank Fantasy Football Network, Tick Pick, and El Diablo, all three of our wonderful sponsors, and of course Nick's Pizza as well. The ultimate tier of sponsor, Nick's Pizza. They are our best sponsor, so we thank them for everything. They are great to work with, and we're going to show you guys their shop when they open up in a couple of weeks. But besides all that, I'm hoping to show you guys the Jets Stadium if I can figure out a way to get my cheap ass up there and get some tickets. But in the meantime, you're going to get a Week 6 preview from good old Delaware. But it's Jalen Hurts going on this week, taking on the MILF Hunter himself at his hometown, Big Apple. It isn't going to be 6 in the city this weekend. It's going to be 6 in the city because Jalen Hurts going to be dropping dime after dime after dime in the end zone. They should beat the fucking shit out of this team. Like, without Aaron Rodgers, that one player, completely different team. I don't care if they have a good roster. I don't care if they have a good defense. They are demoralized right now because of Zach Wilson. It's like they take one step forward. This kid takes fucking 5 steps backwards. So, I mean, he plays like ass. I love him as a player. Josh said earlier, I love him. But, I mean, I think Jets fans are the only ones that hate him because he fucking plays for their team. So, like I said, this should not be a close game. My score prediction, give me Eagles 38. I'm getting lofty with it. I want a high-scoring game. Or actually, fuck it. They're going to put up a 40-burger. Eagles 41, Jets 15. Yeah.
I think Dalton is good, has a good point, but we saw the Jets play against the Chiefs, and they only lost by 3. I think Zach Wilson is not a bad quarterback at all. He has the weapons that can make him a fantastic quarterback. Just a matter of him getting that open man. So I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think. I think what the trend has been, as we've seen the first 5 weeks, is these games that we think we're going to blow them out. It's close. So I'm going to be conservative on this, and I think it's going to be 28-21 Eagles. But I mean, they got Breece Hall, they got Garrett Wilson. Their defense is really good, home field advantage. So I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Yeah, I mean, Zach Wilson played phenomenal against the Chiefs, and I think he can do the same against us. But I think our defense is a little better. But that's my take for Week 6.
And Jack, I'm going to explain to you why you're wrong. I think it's going to be an absolute blowout. This Jets defense, it's very good. Like you said, Jack, you are right about that. However, as much as the Jets can have offensive weapons, if Zach Wilson doesn't know how to use them, they're worthless. So, and I think Zach Wilson absolutely doesn't know how to use his weapons around him. I think it's going to be an absolute blowout because the defense has been on the field every game, and this is the 6th straight week where they are going to be on the field the whole time. They are going to be absolutely gassed And for those reasons, I'm expecting a 40 burger like Dutchie to 14. Set.
All right, Tom. Well, we're gonna have a friendly wager. If it is a 7-point game,
yes,
you owe me a case of CI iced tea. If it's what you say, your prediction is, I'll give you either Surfside or CI iced tea, a whole case. How about that?
Okay, that's fine.
Can we agree?
Either one, I'm fine with. Whatever's easier for you to find.
Big money.
All right, you saw it here. You saw it here. Set.
Ash, what do you think?
I have said so many times that I feel like the games are going to be close, or I said that I basically whatever I say, it's going to be the opposite. But I think this is the perfect setup for a blowout. I think the fact that we really started to get our rhythm last week, I feel like that's just going to continue. We're playing against a team. They're not a bad team at all, but they are not the same team that they would be if Aaron Rodgers was playing. So I think I'm going to go 31-10, put a 3-score spread. That's what I was looking for in here. And I think this is going to be a really great game to watch. And I think this will be the confidence booster that they need.
Said.
I think that the Jets defense is very good. I think Zach Wilson's playing better. I think his offensive weapons are kind of overrated. I think we stopped the run. We stopped Breece Hall. We stopped Cook. We put Darius Slay on Garrett Wilson. I think that's it. That's all we got to do, right? That's all we got to do. War of attrition, 38-21. Zach Wilson plays okay, but the Birds are back. That offense is going to be firing on all cylinders. Jalen Carter, 2.5 sacks. Hassan Reddick, 3 sacks. You heard it here. I'm talking about the Fightins.
That's the Phillies.
Oh, I know. It's all. It's all the same thing. And
it's all the same.
Flyers season Saturday, FYI.
Said.
What'd you say?
I said Flyers start their season
for the show at some point.
Josh, no one cares about the Flyers. They suck.
I'm just saying they start their season Saturday.
A dumpster fire, dude.
You don't know. They can win the Stanley Cup. You don't know.
I have more faith in the Flyers possibly winning a Stanley Cup than I do the Sixers winning a championship this year.
No.
I don't think either is going to happen.
Before we wrap up, if the Eagles lose this game this weekend, they're a disgrace. The Eagles have never lost to the Jets before. Don't fuck that up now. Don't. Set.
Jack, I heard
don't have
your mom's going up to watch this game.
I mean,
Jack, is your mom going up to watch this game?
Yeah. So,
did you?
Zach Wilson's going to take her over. It's fine. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Hey,
I didn't say. I didn't say
player, you know.
I didn't say it, dude.
That's what you're getting at.
I was just checking on the fam.
Well, we appreciate all the viewers tonight. You know, I know it's a little later. It kind of worked out that the Phillies played a little earlier today. Phillies are going to win. I'm going to say 6-5 tomorrow. And without further ado, Zep. It's an outro.
I'm an uncle.
Not an intro. Hit that motherfucking outro, please.
Said.
My name is Zep, and I'm an uncle now.
Said.
Ding dong ditch dingers, Dutch. I'm gonna ding dong ditch V Hard Pals after he wins the World Series.